Do. Well, hey, everybody, getting set for tonight's live call-in show in about 6 minutes. We will start the show. Just getting things set up in the pre-show since Scott's not here. Gotta jump in and have a little pre-show. So just hop in, let me know where you tuned in. We're gonna have a lot to talk about over the next hour. Let me grab another Coke Zero. Hello to Ryan Kilbert. Disney Dave covers over on Instagram. Let's show in 5 minutes. Hang out. We'll take your calls. Scotty G currently on the Dream. Check in, see where he is. He was in Nassau. It just says the Bahamas. It's not showing a map. Looking for him. Oh, hang on. The map's coming up. He's just north of Nassau, just south of Great Abaco. Due east of Miami. Actually not that far from Fort Lauderdale. We're headed back. Hello to K-Boy0423 in Disney Mom Life 71 over Instagram. If you're tuned in on YouTube or Facebook, let me know you're there. Drop it in the comments. Start the show in 2 minutes. Let's make sure that stayed up. It did. Hello to Peter Hobson, tuned in Massachusetts tonight. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody here in the States. Hello to Adam down in Rocky Top, Knoxville, Tennessee. My daughter loves a singer from that town. Both Dodgers, actually. All right, let's get ready to start the show here in just a second. This is the kind of song that gets stuck in your head all night. How annoying. All right, it's 6 o'clock because we're going to start this thing on time. We're going to end this thing on time tonight. It's the holiday weekend. Figure out how to stuff. Yeah, let's turn that off. Okay, now we hopefully will not have it stuck in our heads the rest of the night. All right, I think we're good here. Yep. Soundboard's ready to go. Band is fired up. Let's have a show. Now, let's just hope the phone lines work. Oh my gosh, Scotty G, we're just tracking you on Find My Friends, my friend. You are due east of Fort Lauderdale right now. You're just north of Nassau, just south of Grand Abaco. We're just looking at you on Find My Friends. We're looking for you. And Scott is sitting down in Palo. Very cool. He's killing it. I've been not bugging him the whole cruise because it's a 3-night cruise. You got to maximize every single minute. Didn't want to bug him. He's having fun with his buddies and Elizabeth and all that. But I am going to debrief him when he gets back on Tuesday. Can't wait to hear all about it. Man, love the fantasy and the dream. Those are the best class ships. All right. He's not listening though. So I'm waving my hands like profusely. So he thinks I'm talking about him like crazy here. So there you go. So who knows? All right. House band ready to go. Hopefully you're ready to call. Let's do this. I need to start the recording and we'll go. Here we go. Hang on. All right, I think we're set. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, August 31st, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Sunday night to you. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody here in the States. Hope you're having a great holiday weekend. Thanks for joining me here on the Be Our Guest Podcast Open Line. We're going to have a good time over the next hour. Taking your calls at 407-584-7173. That's 407-584-7173. Lots to catch up on tonight. Scotty G not joining us tonight. Again, he's sailing the Disney Dream, wrapping up a quick 3-night Labor Day weekend cruise. Tuned in. He's actually tuned in right now live from his dinner at Palo. So he's eating well tonight at Palo. That's always one of the better meals of the year for me. It's actually always my best meal of the year. And he did Remy on this cruise too. So we'll catch up about that next Sunday night or on the shows this week. So you get to hear all about what a 3-night cruise on the Dream out of Fort Lauderdale is like. That was his first time sailing out of Lauderdale. So lots to catch up on with Scotty G about that. But we have a lot to talk about over the next hour. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great wrap to the summer. I can't believe August already in the books. We're going to start September tomorrow. Halloween season down at Walt Disney World in full effect. Wow. Got a lot going on. D23 announcements down at Walt Disney World happened this past weekend. I was kind of paying attention to football. I got to be honest. They put this D23 thing at the same weekend as college football kicking off. We had 5 straight days of college football. We're in day 3 right now. No, day 4. I've been watching football, but I have been paying attention on my phone to some of these announcements, and I thought we would get your feedback on what has you the most excited. Of course, I'm not paying attention to much other than theme parks because that's my bailiwick. That's my favorite thing. But I thought I would go over in case you were, like me and you were busy this weekend. You're out grilling. You're maybe swimming your last dip in the pool before they close them off and turn them off. They always have like this time of the year. They always have kind of the dogs get the pool the last day. I love that idea. The dogs all take over before they drain the pools. Whoever came with that idea, chef's kiss. Genius. Give the dogs a day. Isn't that a saying? Every dog should have its day. That's exactly how it should be. But I want to hear what your feedback is, but if you missed it, here's some of the highlights. I'm not going to go into the details, but if you want the details, Disney just sent out the travel agent list, all the press releases for all the details. But in a nutshell, here are some of the just bullet points of what has been announced coming to the theme parks soon. First of all, we're getting a Walt Disney animatronic in the Carousel of Progress. Scene 1, where, it gets introduced and the voice comes on and there's a sign right there. Boom, Walt's going to be there. It's going to be kind of like what they have at Disneyland. I think they probably just made 2 of those, I'm guessing. And he's going to talk about Progress, I'm guessing. So we're going to get a Walt Disney animatronic in the Carousel of Progress. I'm going to kind of hold off on my comments and talk about them throughout the show. Hopefully you'll call in. We can talk back and forth about these things, how you feel, and I'll share my thoughts on that. Over kind of next door to Carousel of Progress, Tron, one of the newest attractions at Walt Disney World, is getting a holiday, well, not a holiday overlay, but it's getting an overlay for the release of the new movie Tron Ares. I guess that's how you pronounce it. They're going to, this cracks me up. So it's going to turn red starting on September 15th. And they're going to play 9 Inch Nails on the ride. And now, I haven't listened to 9 Inch Nails since probably college, and that was a long time ago for me. But as I recall, 9 Inch Nails is like super, like, I don't know, how do you even describe 9 Inch Nails music? It's not like heavy, but it's like really like strange alternative music, maybe. Maybe I don't know, but I mean, I just remember like it was very bizarre music when I listened to it. And the fact that they're playing 9 Inch Nails in the Magic Kingdom, like the happiest place on earth. Weird. I kind of gave my thoughts on that, but we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I guess it's on the soundtrack for the movie. I mean, it looks pretty, like they're showing, what it's going to look like lit up red. That looks pretty cool. The on-ride photo red looks neat. I'm a Cardinals fan. Like, Cardinals are terrible this year. We haven't been wearing much red this year, but it looks neat. But I never thought in a million years we'd be talking on this podcast about an attraction with a 9 Inch Nails soundtrack at the Magic Kingdom. I'll be honest. Never thought it would happen, but it is. Here's another thing. They're going to have a new color palette for the Magic Kingdom, for the castle at the Magic Kingdom. They're going back to kind of the OG color palette. Grays, little touches of gold, the blues, creams. Let's go. You don't have to spice up the castle. It looked great on opening day. So they're going to kind of go back to that original scheme. I like that. We got more information on Villains Land, stuff like that. Some of the architectural inspirations out there. So we got more information on that. Heading to Disneyland, Napa Rose is going to get some patio seating. They're going to expand that out because obviously the weather's great at Disneyland. How about eating outside at Napa Rose? That's pretty awesome. Looks really nice. Al fresco dining. That's going to be great. How about there's going to be a Disneyland handcrafted Disney Plus special where you're going to be able to see, it's actually going to be on YouTube too, where you're going to be able to see Leslie Iwerks. She produced it and came up with this documentary about Disneyland's construction. That's going to be cool. That'll be really cool. Disney Cruise Line announced some stuff for the Disney Destiny, including some drinks. This one, I saw a video real quick of like a levitating drink. It was on some kind of disc and it was like floating. The guy was pouring stuff in. It looked pretty awesome. You're going to have, I think Dr. Facilier is going to go around possibly and do some parlor tricks on the ship. Just log me out. Stuff like that. Hang on, I gotta log back in. This is so Disney right here. Right in the middle of a live show, it logs me out. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So we got that. Let's see, and that's about it. So those are kind of the cruise line, Disneyland, Disney, Walt Disney World announcements. So what has you excited possibly for that? I was also thinking, if you have trip planning questions, we can talk about those tonight. And it's Labor Day weekend, right here in the States. It's Labor Day. We celebrate labor. We celebrate working by taking a day off tomorrow on Mondays. Fortunately, I work for myself, so I'll be working. I'll be celebrating Labor Day by laboring. But I was going to say, since it's Labor Day weekend, if you had to pick any job at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or Disney Cruise Line, what job would you take for a week? You got to do it for a week, not a day, not a year, 7 days consecutively. What job would you take for a week and why? Let's talk about that. So let me open up the phone lines and we'll take your calls. Again, the number is 407-584-7173. That's 407-584-7173. Let's talk some Disney. Make sure we're talking Disney. We'll have a good time over the next hour. So we got D23. We got trip planning questions. What job would you like to do at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or Disney Cruise Line? Give me a call. Let's talk, because it's the open line. And without you guys, this is going to be a boring show. Me talking for a little while, and then we would have to call it a day. So phone lines are wide open. Now, the way this usually works, calls usually start coming in at the end of the show. Let's get them at the beginning of the show. But we have our first call, so let's go to this now. And hey, who's joining us?
This is Caleb Joshua Hill.
Hey, Caleb, how's it going? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you. I was following along the whole time as you were. I was supposed to be actually there this weekend, but sadly didn't able to go to this event. So, it was cool to watch it on the D23 Gold Theater, which was it for D23 Gold members.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some things I liked. I liked, of course, Marco Vargo announced in the beginning that D23 Expo will be next year on August 14th through the 16th. And that was my projection, of course. I was like, obviously he's going to announce this in the beginning. I'm very excited about Walt Disney coming to Carousel of Progress. I know a lot of people have said, on Twitter X and everything, saying, "Oh, they're going to ruin it." We don't know. We have no idea if this is not going to be like the one at Disneyland where everyone thinks he looks like the My Pillow guy. Hopefully, he'll look actually like Walt Disney.
Okay, well, let me ask you something about that, because I want to talk to you about this, and I appreciate you calling in. So, do you think they made these two at the exact same time? These two animatronics, probably. I'm guessing.
Probably. Who knows? Maybe they're making a new one right now.
Could be.
Could be.
But I'm with you. The thing is, Twitter, it's just everybody seems like they're upset. Not everybody, but I would say maybe 70% of the people are never going to be happy with anything. But what I think here, I said I would wait a little bit on this one to kind of give my comment, is what I'm excited to see is that they are investing in the Carousel of Progress, because they also said we're going to get to see what's next for the rest of the family. Right. And so for the first time, we're putting money into the Carousel of Progress, which means it's probably not going anywhere for the next decade, which makes me excited because I love that attraction.
Exactly. And this is going to be in the beginning where John's like, "Welcome to the Carousel of Progress." So I'll probably put it right there where Walt will actually introduce us to the Carousel of Progress. And that photo of the concept art of him, like they're showing side by side of him, like looking to the side. It looks, I'm hoping it looks like that. It'd be interesting. Hopefully it's not a pudgy face like the original or the one at Disneyland for Walt Disney's Magical Life. But who knows? Maybe it'll look great. We don't know.
I agree. And the thing is, there's always going to be, like we said, 30% of the people that are not going to be happy, even if it was, like if they had Walt Disney himself standing there, they would nitpick it. And it is an audio animatronic. It's never going to be perfect, a perfect rendering, but the thing is, it's Walt's essence. And we're going to have, instead of just a voice, I mean, how awesome is that to be able to sit in that theater and have maybe 5 minutes of, an audio animatronic Walt setting us up for his dream of the future, and then walking and then going through the scenes. I mean, like I'm already kind of getting goosebumps about it. Like I'm excited. So yeah, I'm pumped about it.
I like the stuff in the background too. Like they're making it like they have the tiki room, bird. They have the winds of I forget what it's called. The wind of spires. The one that Rolly Crump did with the Imagineer. Yeah, that statue that he did, but didn't really exist in Small World. You probably know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really cool things in the background. And I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens with this attraction in the future.
I'm just glad that they're, because when they don't touch anything, that means it's on the chopping blocks, which this sounds like they're going to invest in it, which is good. So what were there any other announcements that got you excited? What do you think about, I mean, you're younger, obviously I can tell.
Yeah.
The 9 Inch Nails and the overlay for Tron. What was your thoughts on that for the new movie release coming up next month? Tomorrow.
I probably listened to 9 Inch Nails when I was probably young. I'm not sure, but I remember the version for 2010, the Tron Legacy, had Daft Punk, and I like all kinds of music, but Daft Punk was more like EDM music, and I still listen to that to this day. And I was like, okay, that's interesting music. I can't wait to find out what this is going to sound like. Because, I mean, obviously this attraction is technology and more like, and 9 Inch Nails, like you said, was more heavy music.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is that kind of like, heavy metal, or you said alternative, right?
It was, I remember, I mean, but again, I didn't listen to, I only listened to like a few songs because I was a DJ back in like the 90s and early 2000s, but I only played like a couple of their songs. Like I think they had a song called like Nails or something. I can't remember, but it was like it was like heavy alternative, like a heavier alternative. It was really weird. But the thing is, like, here as I think about this, and again, I always keep an open mind, is like it's a super short attraction, right? It's a super short ride, probably 3 minutes maximum. And I would imagine the overlay is not going to stay on there very long. This movie is not going to have a long shelf life at the theaters. So I'm for, if you had asked me for or against, why not try this a little bit, to juice the ride? Because I don't think it's not going to be permanent. You know what I'm saying? It gives it more re-rideability. It's like, hey, I can ride it now to be red. You got a little bit of different music, then go back next month. It'll be back to the old soundtrack, switch it up.
Yeah. Yeah. The music for the background is really great too. I mean, I bought the soundtrack on Apple Music. It feels almost like Daft Punk. But they could go through other genres of music. Who knows in the future? So we'll see.
Maybe we'll get some crazy Christmas music. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be fun. So anything else?
You talked about the one announcement for today was the color scheme changing back for the Cinderella's Castle. I know, again, the 50th anniversary finally has an ending, and it, of course, for its 54th anniversary this year, and we'll finally have something for the 55th. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's time to kind of just take it back to its roots. I think, just back to the the fresh coat of paint. OG. I saw somebody mention, it was Melissa, one of my great dear friends. I was in their wedding, listeners of the show, Jay and Melissa. She said, "Oh, if they would only bring back the dream lights as well." And do you remember? When they had, during the holiday season, the Christmas season, they would actually hang lights on Cinderella Castle. Now, of course, because of projections,
I remember that.
I don't think they ever will, because the projections have gotten so good. There's I'm like, I'm very much a traditionalist, and I think you really can't beat the look of real lights, but the projections, I'm sure, for the amount of like, what do they call it? Like the squeeze for the juice, it's probably not worth hanging all those lights and get the cranes out. But man, those dream lights were beautiful. I love those things.
This is in the other park, but like at Disney's MGM, now Disney's Hollywood Studios. Of course, the Osborne Family Light Spectacular, that was just phenomenal to see. And it'd be awesome if they brought that back. I'd love to see that come back there.
Yeah, I think those lights are scattered to the wind. I'm almost
Yeah, I
positive.
know,
I'm
right?
almost positive
Yeah,
some of those are down at Silver Dollar City, and because I've seen a lot of them. But yeah, that was one of my favorite things every year, and like we took for granted that they were there, and we would go every year. We'd run through them during the Wine and Dine Half Marathon, and oh man, they were just like it's one of those things like you don't know what you have until it's gone, and now that I'm getting a little older,
I say that every time. I said this on a podcast. Like, oh, people like with the Muppets, everyone's like, oh, we're not gonna go to this. It's not really worth it. And then the last day, everyone's like, oh, we have to go to this. We have to cover this. It's this pattern where these people are like, oh my gosh, we have to do this, even though we didn't really, give the chance to do this. So it's like.
Well, that's right. And I think about this too, right? Myself, because like, what do we have right now that we're not taking advantage of that, we're in that case, like you said, like the Muppets gone, like you see the, BioConstructs, weekly photos and you see just what Muppet Courtyard looks like, all destroyed now, and it just breaks your heart more and more each day. We got to have progress, right? It's going to be awesome. When we have the monster coaster, it's gonna be great, but so many memories are just like it's just like, oh my gosh, I remember like all the memories I had back in that plaza.
And there's like there's two other attractions that are going away. We already know this. With it's tough to be a bug just went away, and now being better together, I think it's called. And I'm like, does it make sense? Bugs are underground, but even animals are underground. I don't know. We'll see how that is. And then Dinosaur being taken away from me, because I obviously love Dinosaur and now Indiana Jones, but yeah, does it make sense?
I know,
because it's based on animals. I don't know.
Yeah, because now that I'm going to Disneyland yearly for the race, well, there won't be races anymore out there for a while, but now that I've discovered an Indiana Jones is superior, but I love Dinosaur too, and I like that they're different experiences, even though they're built on the same systems. They're both very different.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is superior at Disneyland, but like I try to think like, what is that experience? What are those experiences around Walt Disney World, especially that you got to really take in every trip still that could disappear at any time? And like for me, one of those things that I'm really cognizant of, and I'm scared to even say these things out loud, I try to do Jungle Cruise every trip now, because I just think for some reason in the back of my mind, Jungle Cruise has me nervous. Like that's one of those that they could announce that it's like it's going away. And I know that sounds like oh my gosh, but at World I can see
all
it.
These things. Because all these things that that are sensitivity, like there's always like, there's a mask, we can't have that because
there's a lot of reasons. Yeah, but for that,
that's one of the things. Yeah,
it's a big footprint. It's water attractions are really hard to maintain. It's very it's high staff. Yeah. There's a lot of staff to it. The Jungle Cruise skippers. It's you got to have a certain amount of skill to do the spiel. There's a ton of reasons why they could cut that thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's also like, what do people associate? Like Disney, like people that are very, very casual Disney fans, like if you talk about Jungle Cruise skippers, that is kind of a link, people make that connection, but I don't think that matters to some of the C-levels executives anymore at the Disney company, which scares me. So I try to make sure I do those things.
Yeah. I'm very happy. Well, this was announced either. I wish it was. During that event, but it was nice that we got it before. The Magic of Disney animation coming back to Disney's Hollywood Studios and saying goodbye to Star Wars Launch Bay. I know kids love taking pictures with the characters, but it just felt just like dead air. So I just feel like we should. It's good that it's coming back, because I was like so excited. I was just in tears because finally we were getting back animation courtyard. So
yes. And it's bringing the park back to something that'll be discovery and excitement. And, it's almost turning the clock back maybe a decade and a half, back to what the studios used to be, which makes me excited. And you're right. It's replacing something it's a big nothing. It's a big,
Yeah.
nothing burger right now. Yeah. Totally. Well, hey, I appreciate the call. Great stuff. And thank you for taking time out of your Labor Day weekend for giving me a call. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me on the show.
Hey, don't be sorry. Do you ever drop into our Discord over to the clubhouse?
Yeah. Oh, I should probably jump into your Discord. I didn't know you had Discord. I remember going. I mean, I follow you on Instagram and Twitter, X, and I guess Facebook, and also here on YouTube.
Oh, hey, come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. The invite's right there. And we'd love to have you because you are a smart Disney fan and you sounds like you have a podcast, and I'd love to pick you up and check it out.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Hey, have a great weekend. Good talk to you. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. All righty. So the number is, let me get this here. 407-584-7173, 407-584-7173. Great first call of the night. Great conversation there. A lot of topics about the D23 announcement. That's what we love to hear. So let me open up the phone lines again, and we are good to go. 407-584-7173. Yeah, I even hate to say that about the Jungle Cruise. Like, I don't want to curse it, but it's one of those things. It makes me nervous. Like 10 years ago, never thought the Muppets would go away. Never thought, but there they are. And here we are. We're here on a Sunday night, August 31st, Labor Day weekend, talking about the castle going back to its original color palette, which that has me excited. But again, I'm very much a traditionalist. I'm very much, I like retro stuff. I like stuff that is of the vintage kind. And so going back to what the castle used to look like, let's go. 407-584-7173 is the number. You want to talk about all the announcements. You want to talk about what your favorite job would be at Walt Disney World or Disneyland or Disney Cruise Line for a week. It's Labor Day weekend. What would that be? It's the open line. We need your calls if we're going to do this. That's what we do. Maureen Costello Shea over on Facebook says, we got a call. Let me grab this one. Let me do this and this. Hello, caller. Are you there? Oh,
hey, Mike. It's Dennis. How are you?
Hey, Dennis. Good. Hang on 1 second. I got two coming in. Of course, I got two at the exact same time. Hang on. Hopefully this doesn't hang up on you. Hold on. All right. You're still there, right?
I'm here.
I got it. Okay, good. So how are things down in Texas this weekend?
It's raining a lot. It's kind of interfered with all my grilling plans for the weekend, but
I do not.
What can you do?
I do not want to tell you how nice the weather has been in Missouri this week. It is unbelievable. Like seriously, like 78, no humidity. It's been like this for a week. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
Well, the silver lining, the silver lining is I've been able to walk my dogs when it's been 70 degrees out for a change.
It's unreal.
I've been enjoying that, and it's currently in the low 80s right now, and I'll take that. But I need the rain to stop. I got dinner to make in. But
seriously, your neighbors are like we need the whiff from Dennis's barbecue pit. Like your neighbors just gotta be like, it's like your whole neighborhood's gonna be like, is Dennis not going to cook this weekend or what? Like we planned on the smell, I can imagine. Anyway, so what do you think about the D23 announcements, or is that what you want to talk about?
I'll talk about anything. I mean, I'm vaguely aware of what's been going on. The big news, of course, I heard is that the castle is going back to the old color scheme, and I caught you talking about that just a second ago. And I think that's cool. I'm really, really surprised by it, though. Because they just did that back in 2020. I remember that being the big COVID surprise that they when that happened, and now they're already going back. And I haven't been inside the Magic Kingdom since they did it, so I may end up missing out entirely on the new color scheme, but that's fine. I've got tons of good memories around the old color scheme, so that's good for me.
Wait, so you haven't been inside the Magic Kingdom since 2020?
No, I mean, I only get inside those parks every 2 or 3 years, and the last time I was inside a park was 2022 at Disneyland. So I'm overdue at this point. But the last time I was at the resort was December 22, ahead of my cruise on the Wish. But we didn't go into the parks. We just went to Disney Springs. So I still haven't had an opportunity to see it.
I'm getting more like that too. Like with my cruises, I'm just like, I just stay at the pool. I'm good, but yeah, but I do go to the parks. I go over the race. That's the thing is like running the races. And now that I go down by myself a lot, like, and I get an annual pass for all the stuff I go down for the travel agency. So I'll hop in, but I, hop in for a few hours and see stuff and do stuff. But, yeah, I'm the castle looks beautiful anyway, but I love when they kind of switch it up. So, and I'm ready for, and I like the original look of the castle. It doesn't need to be gaudy. And I don't ever think it looks gaudy, but like when they put those, what was that? God, was that the 40th? When they put those weird kind of gold medallions on it for a little bit? I think it was the 40th.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was weird. But I like their
The one that really shocked me though is the additions to the Carousel of Progress that they're going to make. The changes with the addition of Walt Disney. Now I'm all for adding Walt Disney to that, but I don't know. I mean, I know they've kind of updated that final scene a bit, but I really, as much as I am a guy that doesn't mind the changes to the classic stuff, because I think the park does need to evolve over time, this is the one attraction that is kind of like that museum, that monument to Disney that I really want them to be careful about changing going forward.
That's a good point. So do you think, so in your ideal world, if Disney asked you for this, you would say you're cool with scene 1 with Walt setting up the whole thing, talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
You like that audio animatronic. Don't touch the in-between scenes and update the last scene maybe to current times? Or what would you do with the last scene? Like the last scene, I think is the most problematic because that thing's a mess. But I like as a person like this, and you and I are a lot alike because we talk a lot, like you and Craig, especially over in the clubhouse. Like we love like talking about our childhood memories and all this stuff. But I swear, like the technology that they have in that last scene it's what we talk about in Mike's favorite things thread. I mean, that like VR headset and all that stuff that's, like a Sega Genesis and stuff. It's so sad, but technology moves so fast. So what would you do with scene, like the final scene, if it was, because they're going to go in and maybe do something with it, but I just don't know what. It's kind of like the Epcot Future World problem. What would you do?
It's a good question. I remember as a kid, we used to do our annual vacation to Disney World, and I remember at some point, don't ask me precisely when, but I do remember when that scene got updated to what it is now, and it just has not changed forever and ever and ever. And it was forward looking at that point. But to your point, you can't keep up with the changes. What we think of as futuristic from the 80s and 90s and stuff that we saw on television was not looking forward enough. So I don't know if maybe the solution to that is to maybe timestamp it, because with the other scenes they tell us when they're taking place, and with that scene it's supposed to be looking forward into the future. In, as you just said, it's not. I mean, we've got everything that we voice activated oven and 3D VR video games are way beyond anything. We're way beyond all that right now. So maybe do something that's 2025, 2020, 26 and timestamp it in the scene, so that at least it doesn't come off as hokey when people go see it in the future. And then, you can update it 10 years from now to reflect the current reality and maybe mention in the scene the things that we're looking forward to. Or you can have grandma sitting there like, I just read about how they're going to have a satellite something or other being directly into your house. And maybe talk about what it is we're looking forward to the future, not so much predicting the future.
That's a great point.
That way.
Because like I cringe every time she says car phone, like, cause she emphasizes it, right? Like you didn't even have a car phone, because nobody, or grandpa says it, somebody says it. And, like nobody calls it that, and like nobody called it that for 20, 15 years, but everybody did at the time. Like it was a big deal to have, that's what we called it. Cause like I physically had like that bag phone. Like I was one of the very first people. I was in high school because I was mobile DJing, right? And I needed it because I went out to all these wedding receptions all over Southern Illinois and all these, places at these VFW halls and stuff. And if something broke down, I had to call my dad. I could only use it after 9 and on the weekends. Just talking to Pam about this last night. Could never use it because it's so expensive, but it was called a car phone. But it was, way before that's where they made this scene. But somebody over on Instagram says, Carrie Allen Brooks, she says, agree with the caller. Carousel of Progress should stay a tour of the 20th century. They should not update the last scene. And she says, sort of agree with what we're saying. It should stay maybe in the 1990s. So what do you think about that idea of keeping it maybe the Carousel of Progress just the 20th century? Or is it something that because the thing is, like, say you mentioned Chat GPT, timestamp it. I mean, it could move beyond Chat GPT because that's like where we're at right now with AI. Like, but I mean, boom, it moves so fast. And then by the time they finish the update, it's probably going to be something different. It is so crazy. Like, they're so, you just can't do it. You're right. You got to timestamp it. But by the time they finish the update, it's probably outdated. It's crazy.
That's exactly the point. Yeah. I mean, anytime you're looking forward, back in the 80s when they had all the future technology that we could expect in future world, and we moved way past that, faster than they could update it. And that's where we are now. So that's just my thought, is that, right now, here we are, things like Chat GPT, AI, our phones and stuff like that were ideas that we could not have imagined back in the 80s and the early 90s. And so maybe turning that scene into a bit of a time capsule as opposed to being forward looking is just a one way to go. I do think it would be incredibly fun to capture the neon and the hairstyles and the grunge of the 90s.
I agree.
That in a final scene.
I think kids would like that.
Shirts
I
whatever,
agree. But because kids, I mean, I think they would get a kick out of that, right? I mean, because I see these memes on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff, like, this was your grandma in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the big hair and stuff. Like, dude, I mean, maybe it's just hitting me because that was us. But I mean, but could you imagine? Like, you're right, like a 90s like grunge scene. Oh my gosh. Because that would I don't know. Maybe it's our generation though. Maybe everybody below us would be like, dude, that's weird. I don't know.
They could be afraid of Y2K.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, turn your computer off. Make sure your computer's off. We're not gonna make it. I remember that night. That was like, oh my god, we're gonna wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
that was Best Buy with all the stuff you had to get ready, all the books. That was wild. So let me ask you this. I'm kind of switching gears on you while I have you on the line, because you're definitely our cruise expert over in the clubhouse. The Destiny. We're getting more information on it. It's almost ready to sail here very shortly. It's actually going to be September tomorrow, sailing here in a couple months. What are your thoughts on this ship? Because it is kind of, I mean, it's a Wish class ship, but it's different. Like, what are your thoughts on the Destiny?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Of course, I'm a bigger Marvel fan than you are. From everything that you've said, you've never seen a Marvel movie.
Nope.
But I'm familiar with all those movies, having raised two boys and having been a fan of my own over the last several years. What I think I'm most excited for about that ship is that when you look back at the difference between the Wish and the Treasure, and I haven't been on the Treasure, so I'm going on everybody's reports about it, just how much more they're engaging people on the Treasure with the different storylines with Sage and Coriander, and then the Jungle Cruise activities and the Grand Hall and stuff like that. They are really bringing the experience to the guests on the ship. Well, having seen the stuff that they're teasing with Loki from the Marvel movies, or Dr. Facilier from Tiana and the like, the idea just bringing those streetmosphere type characters aboard the cruise ship and really putting them to work, I think is going to make an incredible experience for the guests. I didn't get a chance to go on the Galactic Star Cruiser before it closed down, and I don't think it's possible to do that type of experience on a cruise ship for 2,000 guests. But having those opportunities for interactivity with characters that go beyond the handshake and a picture and a hug for the photo op type of a thing, I think is just something that Disney has such an incredible advantage and the potential to do that other cruise lines cannot replicate at all. And I think they're setting themselves up to make incredible memories for everybody that goes aboard those ships with those type of experiences.
That's a great point, because that's a super great point, Dennis. I like that, because the cruise ships, you have a smaller audience, and you have an audience that's going to, it's a more intimate setting. And the thing is, you're going to have people that are going to have repeated experiences throughout like they're going to come back, like they're on the ship. So on a 5-night cruise, on a 7-night cruise, on a, whatever long it is, they're going to possibly have that interaction with the character, possibly more than once, be in that venue more than once. And what I liked about the Treasure was like you said, you had those coriander and I forget the other person. Who was it? Sage. So you had these two, hosts that were like leading the whole experience throughout the cruise. But like you said, you had these activities that they led. Like they had the simulated jungle cruise game down in the atrium, and everybody got to be, like there were different teams doing jungle. It basically felt like Legends of the Hidden Temple, that game show back in the day from the 90s. All these teams doing these activities with ropes and challenges and stuff, but it was like team building. It was fun, and they were leading it, but also like they were the hosts of this activity going on in the atrium. But you saw them kind of leading a show the night before on the stage in Sarabi. So like they were talented, they were singing, they were doing improv, but they were here leading this activity that you got to be up close and personal with them. You're right. I mean, what it made you feel is though you weren't just a guest on the cruise, like you were an active participant. It was almost kind of like, I don't know if you ever went to Adventurers Club at Pleasure Island. Oh, yes. Did you went there?
Yeah, I was on my honeymoon.
Okay,
I went there, and then they spoiled us.
Yeah, so I mean, it was, and I went there a few times. Some people were like crazy about it. I mean, like, they're throwing themselves. I mean, it was neat. But what it was like, it was very interactive. Like you felt like you were part of the story. And that's exactly how I felt on the Treasure. Like, you saw these talented folks singing and doing improv, but then you were a part of it too. And you got to be part of these little activities and stuff throughout the cruise. So yeah, I think they're going to do even more and more of that as they do these, new sailings, which I'm excited for. And the Adventure, I just want to see what they do with that ship, because that thing is going to be such an outlier. But I think the Destiny is going to be just taking the Treasure and maybe even one more step, because you've seen those suits for that show they're going to do. That's crazy. Like those exoskeletons.
Yeah,
that's
the
wild.
Titans of Hercules show.
Yeah,
those look absolutely amazing, and God bless the people that have to wear those things on stage on a rocking ship.
That's what I was thinking about. Like, you're doing this on a ship at sea. Okay, all right, good luck, bro.
Yeah,
if you have rough seas, I can't imagine. That's the first thing I thought when I saw those things. Like that might be tough. Like at Animal Kingdom, like on Earth. But yeah, give me a rocket. And I always think that like the waiters and waitresses that are, serving the food at all the restaurants, like they're carrying, 12 desserts on those big trays. And, I couldn't do that, at LS Tech here in O'Fallon, Missouri, and they're doing it on a rocking ship. Like it's amazing. It's crazy. Those ships. Oh. The logistics of those ships is half the reason I sail. I just look around and I just think these things are amazing. Just the logistics of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just it's the Disney touch. I constantly get the pushback when I'm talking to people about those cruises, about how they could do 2 cruises on another cruise line for the price of 1 Disney cruise. I was like, that's great, but you're not going to get the characters. You're not going to have that atmosphere. You're not going to get that level of theming. And while there's entertainment on those ships, it's much more of the casino. It's much more of the rock climbing wall and that type of thing. But if you want to have those character moments, if you want to have those Disney type of experiences, yeah, you pay the premium for it, but you can only find it in one place. And that's worth the markup for me every single time on that. And so I'm excited for the future on this. We got a Fourth Wish class ship coming, and then that entirely new class of ships that, hopefully will allow them to continue to go places like Norway and maybe go back to the Florida Keys and the like, because it'll be smaller and not quite as intrusive on those environments. But they just have so many opportunities for us coming up over the next 7 years.
And I'll tell you, I mean, just, with our audience, I'll tell you what, like Disney Cruise Line is booming. I mean, there's a reason they're building all these ships, because, I book travel for a living, right? And I'll tell you what, I've been booking way more Disney cruise than I am Walt Disney World lately. It's shifting. I mean, our audience, because again, what I book is the people that listen to our podcast, and not that people aren't still going to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. They are, but I have never booked as many Disney cruises as I have in the last year. People are definitely finding the ships. They're going. And what I'm seeing, here's what I'm seeing mostly, is that people that go on the cruise, they're booking 2 and 3 repeat cruises almost immediately. Like they're not just booking their placeholder, they're booking like 2 and 3, because they're like, you do one, you're immediately hooked. Like it's this. I mean, I know this. I mean, look at Scott. He just sailed in July on the podcast cruise. He's on a cruise now. He's going in November. I mean, it's such a great experience. It's a premium experience, but it's such a great experience.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only reason why I only have one cruise booked at the moment is because I simply
Finances.
don't know what the schedule is going to be.
Well,
We're on the verge of becoming empty nesters, same as you. I've got a senior in high school, and my wife is working on a master's degree, and so it's just a matter of time of finding. But
yeah.
otherwise, there is nothing more fun than opening the app and seeing a list of cruises there,
Yes.
with the countdowns going to all of them, and then you can click on one and see the little numbers count down with the characters pop up every time you get to a 0.
I agree.
I open that every day, and there's just being able to looking forward to that trip makes it so much easier to get to the next weekend. Like I said, when the itineraries came out for fall 2026, spring 2027, I so desperately wanted to book something, but it's like, I should really figure out where all my children are going to be and exactly what my wife's schedule is. And I don't know that yet, but otherwise I would.
Being a disciplined adult is so hard. I'm exactly the same way, Dennis. It's like, I don't know, like it's just one of those things. It's my grandpa in me, but I wanted to too, but like, I know, like Mallory's starting college next year. And I know we will go on one, but I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, because we're going to it's my 20th anniversary, 20th wedding anniversary next summer. Mallory's, senior trip. We're going to let her pick something. It all happens next summer. So I don't know how that's going to work out. She'll probably win. We'll probably have to wait on our 20th anniversary, but yeah, it's one of those things. But man, you just go back because it just can't be beat. But great call, Dennis. I appreciate you calling in and, getting to share some time with you this weekend, because I sure appreciate your friendship.
Oh, I appreciate it, Mike. It's great to talk to you. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend.
You too. And those Eureka Wildcats, they're for real this year. So your relatives are going to have a good football season down there.
Glad to hear it.
All right, take care.
Your team, though.
Stay safe down there. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All righty. Good to talk to Dennis there down in Texas, man. I hope he gets to fire up that grill, because he is the grill master. If you ever have any questions about Disney Cruise Line, just come over to the Clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. There is a Disney Cruise Line channel. Dennis is always in there, and the most friendly person. He'll answer any of your questions. I try to when I jump in there, but he gets to them first, and he knows his cruise line. So just telling you, he's awesome. All right, 407-584-7173 is the number. Let's open it back up. And we are good. So give me a call. Let's talk Disney. What do you think about the D23 announcements? I forgot to ask him what his job would be. Dennis would sail one of the ships. He'd be the captain. For real. He would have to be the captain. I'm guessing. Ooh, football game starting. All right, 407-584-7173. Don says, as far as the carousel progress, it should be positioned as a point in time with the characters expressing the view of the future at that time, not a representation of that time. Good point. Yeah, that final scene is always going to be problematic. Like, is it stuck in time? Is it representing the current day? Is it looking forward? It's just going to be a mess, because you're never going to keep up with the future. Because if you talk about ChatGPT, or whatever AI is today, it's not going to be that in 5 years. In 5 years, it's going to be smoking past that. Because think about 2020. What was the future in 2020? 5 years ago, Labor Day weekend, 5 years ago. I don't even know what it was, but I guarantee you, like, it wasn't even close to what it is today. And when you do these attractions, they're going to be there for, before you ever update them again, probably at least 10 years before you do an update. That's a problem. That's why I think like Tomorrowland always has to be like retro futurism. It has to be like an optimistic look of like a time period, almost from the past looking forward, because that kind of saves you a little bit. I don't know, man. That's why Future World is tough, but I love the idea of it. That's my problem. I love Future World. 407-584-7173. If you want to give a call, 407-584-7173. We'll leave the phone lines open here for another couple minutes. If not, we will call it a show, since we're on a holiday weekend, and let everybody get back to their grills and maybe their last dips in the swimming pool. And we'll have shows this week. This week we'll have Pam and Ricky on, and of course we'll dive into these announcements a little bit deeper. Ricky will be on because this is kind of her thing. She loves diving into all the announcements, writing all the blogs and stuff like that. So we'll go tick by tick probably on Friday, talk about that. We'll get Scott on next Sunday night to talk about his cruise. Take your calls if you have any questions about Remy, because he did Remy, he did Paulo, he did a couples massage. So we'll have lots to talk about next Sunday. Any questions you have, we'll continue the conversation there. And of course, we'll have listener questions on Wednesday. So if you have any questions for the show, send those into Mike at beourguestpodcast.com and we'll get those on the show. All right. Well, we're going to call this one about 10 minutes early since it is the holiday weekend and we don't have any calls. So we had 2 great calls, though. 2 great calls. We appreciate that. So I'm going to call it a successful show. Everybody's watching football. Everybody's at the pool. Everybody's out having fun with their families. So it's just what you do on a holiday weekend. All right. So don't forget, our podcasts are always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We would love to help you plan your next Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Just click through there, takes you right back to the site, do all your shopping, and it supports the show with every purchase. So thank you so much for that. You can also support the show on Patreon. That keeps us on the air. It's a great way to support the show. It's just $5 a month. It's like a couple of sodas a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. We talked a little bit about Corso today. I still can't say it. We talked about some of my favorite things, and we talked about my favorite aisle in the grocery store when I was a kid. So if you want to get those kind of shows, it's usually on Sunday mornings. Come on over. It's $5 a month. It's just a little fun stuff. We'd love your support. Thank you so very much to all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. Coming over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. You can follow me on the social media at Be Our Guest Mike on X.com, Instagram, and Threads. And of course, come on over to the Clubhouse. It's free for everybody. It doesn't cost a thing. There's no ads, no fuss, and it is the friendliest place for Disney fans on the internet. I promise you, it is the best. I love it. It is one of the best things we've done here on the show. Coming over. We want you to be a part of the family. It's like a little cheers. It's our little club. So coming over, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. We'll see you there today. All right. So for Scotty, Ricky, and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great week. Make it a fun one. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks, everybody. And thank you, Carrie, Allie, and Brooks. No, that's okay. You're at the gym. That's Sunday night. That's dedication to be at the gym on a Sunday. Now that's something Mallory would do. She goes to the gym at night. I got to do it first thing in the morning. I get up at 5 a.m, get on the treadmill because I got to get it out of the way. So I'm done. People who go to the gym at night, God bless you. I can't imagine. I'd be too tired. So keep going. I don't know if you're doing the stepper or the treadmill, the rowing machine. Oh, she's in Portland. It's the afternoon. So it's still bad. Whatever machine you're doing, keep going. You've got this. We believe in you. Keep it up. You're not a morning person. She's doing weights. Pump curls. Keep them going. There you go. I appreciate you watching during your workout. That means a lot. Everybody else, hope you're having a great holiday weekend. You guys are the best. Thanks for being here with us. You guys make this so much fun for me. So thank you for being here. We're going to be back. Well, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Labor Day, and we're having all the family over at our house because it's a 3-person birthday at our house. It's my mother-in-law's birthday, my father-in-law's birthday, and my sister-in-law's birthday, all celebrating here at our house. So no podcast recording tomorrow. We're going to go Tuesday at 5:30 Eastern. So join us. We'll be in a hurry because I have to edit and all that stuff so I can get it out on time. So join us Tuesday this week for the podcast recording. All right. Till then, see you guys later. Have a good night. Go have some grilled pork steaks or something, or, bratwurst or hot dogs, hamburgers. Get something on the grill. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.